Good morning from the Minnesota winters. Katie and I are sitting here in our apartment in Quito. It's been a little bit cloudier and rainier recently, so it's chilly outside, but we're just delighted to share with you some of the things that we've been doing during October. It has been a crazy month.
Yes, it has. Probably the biggest change was that I worked full time for most of October. Our last video, we showed my first day of school. I've been returning. I did 3 full-time weeks teaching first grade, and now I'm supporting the new teacher who's coming in at about 3 hours a day, which is a much better balance. But I'm really enjoying it. I really like the community at Alliance Academy International School, and it's been a fun new thing for me to be doing.
We started the month also by volunteering out at a Bible camp called El Refugio in Cali, and we know the people who run the camp. We met them 7 years ago when we were here, and we count them as dear friends, even though we don't get to spend a lot of time with them. Katie volunteered us to do some childcare during a missionary conference that they were hosting. And then she bailed on us because she took her teaching job. And so I went out with the kids and we watched a handful of little toddlers and babies for 3 days. We really enjoyed being out there and serving them in that way. Later, we took my parents out with us. My dad did a consultation with them and their alpaca operation, and it was fun just to visit. We always love being out there.
We were also fortunate to be able to go spend some time with the Olsons from El Refugio again for Jim's birthday, and meet some other members of their staff and some of their other friends. And it was a really special night, especially because their daughter Kaya has become one of Elsie's closest friends.
We did make and share a video of my parents' visit when we visited Mandriacu. We went on a day trip to Mindo, and we'll share a few more photos of those along with some of the other things that we did while they visited. So Katie works with a woman named Dana, who is an assistant in her classroom, and her family happens to have started the Mitad del Mundo site, but years ago when they were relocated, they started a second site called Intiñan. It's fairly well known, and her grandfather has put that entire site together. It celebrates not only the equator in that location, but also some of the cultural heritage of various ethnic groups around Ecuador. And it was a pleasure to be there, to see it, and to meet her grandfather.
I'm not, but I'm the non-egg master of the family.
I can't do it. Chin up.
You got it.
A little update about Cameron. He is, as you know, attending Bethel University in Minnesota, and I'm really happy to say that he's doing really, really well. He's made a lot of new friends at Bethel, as well as stayed connected to old friends and his girlfriend Audrey, who lives nearby. And also my family was able to make it out for homecoming to celebrate with him and see him at school for family weekend, which I'm really grateful for. And he's also been getting out on the weekends, visiting friends and family nearby in Minnesota, visiting my parents, Brandon's parents, and spending time with Audrey again. And here's a silly picture of the Men in Black crew on Halloween, and all also Cameron having his first time voting.
Due to a prolonged and very severe drought here in Ecuador, we've experienced power cuts as we've been living here. Thankfully, we've often had a generator, but over the last month or so, it's become increasingly challenging as the generator died. It took us a couple of weeks before I found a battery backup for our internet, but that has allowed us to be productive during more hours of the day. And when the power goes out, the electrical grid does not separate traffic control. And so traffic is just crazy when the power goes out, oftentimes with police officers controlling intersections, or in some cases with no control whatever, and people just negotiate their way through.
We mentioned our church here in Quito before. It's a church that Brandon was a part of 20 years ago and that we attended on our last sabbatical in Ecuador. It's called EFC, English Fellowship, and it's an international church that brings together English speakers in the city of Quito. And it's a really special place. There's people from every continent, really, who speak English. That's what brings them together, and also our faith. But it's also worth noting that to honor the Ecuadorian culture and the large number of Ecuadorians that attend, and the fact that most people here also speak some Spanish, we do some worship in both English and in Spanish, which is kind of a unique experience for us as well. And the kids have made a lot of connections through there, so they're still attending the homeschool teen night run by the family who also runs the youth group at church, and they go to Monday night small groups, and they've made some friends, and that's been a really important part of us being here in the location that we chose here in Quito. And just this last weekend, they went on a retreat with the youth group as well and spent a night away from us and from home to be with their new friends at EFC.
Until we meet again, reach up and reach out. Have a wonderful Sunday. God bless you.
On our way home from Mindo last week, it was Halloween, and so we stopped at the mall near our house to try to pick up some North American candy for the kids. And it was crazy. The mall was packed with people. I didn't even get to go in the mall because the parking lot was so packed I couldn't hardly get through the parking lot with my car. So I waited outside and saw pictures and reports of it. But we did enjoy some fun North American candy. It was a nice taste of home and reminded us of all of you and all of the fun that we enjoy with you when we are home.
Yeah, we're looking forward to another full month here, and then just a little bit more. We're staying a week into December. So we'll share with you as the rest of the fall finishes out, and then we will be in Minnesota for a few weeks at Christmas.
Thanks for joining us for these videos and for our crazy adventure. If you want to see more, click like and subscribe.